It's been a while since we've done the last What's Up With episode. If you haven't caught one of the previous two, I've been using these to share various facts and info from different Nintendo characters that you might not have heard a lot about. So far, we've done Waluigi and Ridley, but lately I've been wondering, what's up with Meta Knight? Well, let's find out. Meta Knight always stood out to me strictly because of how different he appears compared to the rest of the Kirby universe. Even DDD, Kirby's arch nemesis and series villain, is usually just about as silly and lighthearted as Kirby himself. But Meta Knight is dark, brooding, mysterious, and holds to a code of honor that almost makes him seem from another world entirely. We first meet Meta Knight in Kirby's Adventure for the NES, the second Kirby title, but the first game where Kirby can use his now classic elemental copy abilities. Meta Knight is the leader of a group of bosses Kirby must fight, called the Meta Knights. Okay, well maybe they could have stretched the imagination a little further on the team name, but this is Meta Space Knight, and these are Meta Dash Knights. Oh, don't worry about the name, guys. I'm sure Spider Dash Man has gotten used to it. Starting with his debut, Meta Knight has always been the Severus Snape of the Kirby universe. He seems like a bad guy, but sometimes does good stuff, keeping you guessing on his intentions throughout. In Kirby's Adventure, Meta Knight will sometimes toss you invincibility candy along the way. But he also sicks his fighting crew on you, so it's really hard to pin down what his goals are. The fight with Meta Knight introduces a recurring mechanic. He presents you with a blade first before you duel. Typically, Meta Knight won't even fight you until you take that blade power up first. He wants a fair, clean battle. How many bosses can you think of that offer you the same kindness?
Hey man, I've got this gun, but if you're gonna fight me with your fists, I just don't think that's fair, so how about you get a gun too?
If he shoots ya, it's gonna hurt.
Perhaps the greatest mystery of Meta Knight comes when he is defeated. Get a look at Meta Knight without the mask. Looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? This has led many to speculate whether or not Meta Knight is actually a member of Kirby's species. They even take a crack at this in Super Smash Bros. 4, where an alternate Meta Knight palette is available when fighting as Kirby. Perhaps Meta Knight is the dark, serious foil to Kirby's constant playful attitude. This would seem apparent in Meta Knight's largest appearance, Kirby Superstar, where Meta Knight has a full side game dedicated to him, The Revenge of Meta Knight. Here, Meta Knight tries to take over Dreamland with his signature battleship, the Halberd, all to end Dreamland's lazy lifestyle. I always thought the Halberd looked hilarious with Meta Knight's face at the front, but I guess I'm not the only one.
He also commands the Halberd, a flying battleship.
I've seen it. The bow looks like his mask. What kind of weirdo puts his face on the bow of a ship, anyway?
It also seems Meta Knight's face might have looked a little different at some point. Concept art exists of an all-red, butterfly-inspired Meta Knight found within the Kirby's 20th Anniversary art book. There's no confirmation for where this costume would have been used or how old the design is, but it definitely does look amazing in the Project M fan mod. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror introduces us to yet another form of our favorite masked anti-hero, Dark Meta Knight. You thought this guy was edgy? Move over, kid. We're about to reach maximum edginess. Dark Meta Knight is so edgy, he doesn't even give you a sword to duel him with. Now that's evil. I bet he doesn't even look both ways before crossing the street. Dark Meta Knight also gets his revenge in two of the hardest boss rushes in Kirby Triple Deluxe. He's so edgy, he re-enters the world by wiping off his blood stains. Or maybe they're like petals or something, I don't know. And a final Meta Knight alternate form exists in Galacta Knight, first revealed in Kirby Superstar Ultra. Galacta Knight is the final boss in Meta Knight's playthrough of the game, presenting him with a duel of the strongest warrior in the galaxy. Galacta Knight has a hot pink body, fights with a lance and shield, and has even more moves than the traditional Meta Knight boss set. He returns in Return to Dreamland, and even has his own trophy in Super Smash Bros. Wii U. Back in the Amazing Mirror, real, not dark Meta Knight also delivers arguably the strongest copy ability in the game, Master, by passing his sword on to Kirby. In Amazing Mirror, Meta Knight's blade is referred to as the Master Sword, likely a Legend of Zelda reference. However, this sword has since been named. Meta Knight's signature blade is now called Galaxia. This blade first got its title from the Kirby anime, known as Kirby Right Back At Ya. Oh yeah, that was a thing. In the anime, Meta Knight takes on a much more cooperative role with Kirby, serving as more of a mentor that occasionally pushes his student a little too hard. He also sounds like this.
I do not understand. I thought you wanted me to do battle with Kirby.
I see where they're going with this, like a Zorro swordsman inspiration, but definitely not what I was expecting. His voice actor is Eric Stewart, known for other popular 4Kids roles like Brock, James, and Seto Kaiba.
Unfortunately, you don't have a lot of reach. With those tiny arms, you cannot touch me.
And last but not least, I'm sure one of the most common places many of you have encountered Meta Knight is from Super Smash Bros. So here's a handful of Meta Knight Smash facts. For example, Super Smash Bros. Brawl isn't actually the first appearance of Meta Knight. He has a trophy in Melee. A trophy that is full of mistakes. Well, for one, they got the name wrong. It's Meta Space Knight, not Meta Dash Knight. It's still dumb, but we went over this earlier in the video, and I'm not letting that 5 seconds of useless trivia go to waste. 2, his body is silver instead of the usual dark blue. And 3, they list his first appearance as Kirby Superstar, even though it was actually Kirby's Adventure. Clearly, Sakurai was so enraged when he saw the Meta Knight errors in Melee that he unleashed to the world the terror that is Meta Knight Brawl. Meta Knight in Brawl is arguably the strongest single Smash Bros. Character ever developed, and it's certainly one of the most controversial. As some kind of grotesque combination between Jigglypuff's jumps and air game and Marth's range and combos, Meta Knight has an insane mix of priority, edgeguarding, and recovery. He dominated the competitive Brawl circuit and dictated the metagame, to the point where Meta Knight is officially banned in many major tournaments for Brawl, even to this day. Here's my favorite thing to do with Meta Knight in a single set of jumps. That's disgusting. This move, the Shuttle Loop, actually inspired a real Meta Knight attack within the Kirby games. In Kirby's Return to Dreamland, you can perform a similar attack with his down-up special. You can even continue the glide, just like in Brawl. Here's some more fun Brawl trivia. There exists data to suggest that battle damage on characters was at one point a feature considered for inclusion in Brawl. The biggest found examples of this are Captain Falcon with a broken visor, and Meta Knight's mask with deep gashes in it. In Smash Bros. 4, Meta Knight's recovery and hitboxes have been nerfed to make him more balanced. He also can't glide, but that hasn't stopped him from achieving some pretty high-level hype in modern tournaments. Strangely enough, though, we haven't seen the real Meta Knight take on one of his classic Kirby roles in a while, with 2011's Return to Dreamland being the last major role we've seen him in. He's popped in every now and then for some cameos, but even the 3DS game, which has Dark Meta Knight, doesn't have regular Meta Knight. It's a shame, too. Meta Knight is by far one of the coolest and most mysterious characters within the Nintendo universe, and I hope we see him return to a main series Kirby game soon. Thanks for watching today's What's Up With video. This is just the 3rd video of this mini-series that we've done so far, and if you want to check out the last 2, they're right here. If you have suggestions for other characters that you'd like to see more spotlight on, let me know in the comments section below. I'll catch you guys next time with more Nintendo content.